الله الرحمن الرحيم. Combustion reaction. What is combustion? What is combustion? Combustion. So what is it? So it's burning. It's burning with oxygen. So it's burning of material burning of material with why should we burn anything؟ احنا sure I am burning. هذه مرت الحين على الجميع. مرت على الكل. ما شاء الله. طيب. Why should I burn something? I need to do something useful, right? مو just burning لأجل burning. Here we have a fuel. We have a fuel. والفيول في غالب الأحيان يكون هيدروكربون أو كربون لوحده. So if you are burning the fuel, this type of reaction is what? Highly exothermic. Highly exothermic. What does it mean?
Give heat.
You have high energy. You will have high energy generated from the combustion reaction. What are we going to use this heat for?
Convert it to mechanical.
Through what? So this heat, we will use it to heat up water to convert it to a high pressure, high temperature steam. So this steam will generate power. So هذه القصة كلها حقتها combustion. So burning fuel to generate power. So we have to have a fuel. So the fuel could be C, CH4, C3H8, or any hydrocarbon. Any hydrocarbon. If you look at this hydrocarbon, what are you going to see except for the carbon? There is what? Hydrogen. And we are burning with oxygen. So we will have water. So in most cases, you are going to have water. Let's see another small difference. So C plus O2 will give me CO2. CH4 plus 2O2 will give me CO2 plus 2
H2O.
H2O. C3H8 plus 5O2 will give me 3 CO2 plus 4 H2O. What is common here? What is common? CO2.
A product.
CO2. And the product you see CO2 produced. If you find the CO2 in the stack gas, what's coming out from the combustion reaction, we call it stack gas. If there is CO2, we say that we have complete
Combustion.
combustion. شوف حتى ماكينة السيارات sometimes if there is not efficient, if the car engine is not efficient, you will produce what? CO. نقول احتراق غير تام. When you are putting the gasoline, which is mainly hydrocarbon, you need complete combustion. But if the engine is not that efficient, you will have a CO, القاتل الصامت. CO. So, if you have C plus half O2, you will have CO. If you have CH4 plus 3 over 2, you will have CO plus 2 H2O. If you have CS5, I will go with 3O2 CO2. You will have CO2 plus 2 SO2. For those two, we say these are in complete
Combustion.
combustion. So what is the difference between complete and complete in the product? If you are producing CO, we say incomplete. If you are saying you have CO2, it is complete.
CS4.
وين؟ هذا؟ Yes. هذه 2. Now, when you have a problem, you have to understand it very well. Let me ask you. If I say complete combustion, complete combustion, what does it mean? You produce only CO2. Does this mean that you have complete conversion?
No.
This is one of the things that students make mistake in the exams. If we say you have 100 mole CH4, you have 100 mole of CH4, and you have complete combustion.
That means no CO.
كم طلع عندك CO2?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Ah. I put 100 mole CH4 and I say that we have a complete combustion. لاحظ الآن, suppose that you have pieces of papers, okay? You have pieces of paper and you are putting them here, they catch fire. They catch fire. And I told you, I have complete combustion. الورقة احترقت. احتراق تام. ممكن الثانية ما صار هالشيء مطلقا. ما صار هالشيء. So I have complete combustion. Complete combustion. الثانية ما صار هالشيء. سليمة. طيب ممكن يكون عندي لما أقول incomplete combustion. incomplete combustion. معناتها ان الورق اللي عندي كل واحدة احترق منها شوي ما احترقت كلها. طيب تخيل الآن لو جيت قلت لك أنا عندي complete conversion but incomplete combustion. شلون هذه؟
That means all of.
complete conversion يعني كله احترق.
Yes.
ورد أقول لك أنا عندي incomplete combustion.
But not converted to CO2 but CO.
معناته لو رجعنا لمثال الأوراق كل الأوراق احترقوا. بس شنو؟ ما في واحدة احترقت احتراق تام. يعني كل ورقة عندي 10 أوراق ما سلمت لي ولا ورقة. All the papers
Get sample.
yes. So ما سلمت ولا ورقة. لكن لما أقول أنا عندي complete combustion و incomplete conversion يعني الورقة اللي احترقت لما احترقت صح. احترقت احتراق تام. So أنت the best for you is what? To get the complete combustion. يعني ما خيرك أنا أقول لك تبغى complete conversion ولا تبغى complete combustion مع 50% conversion. أنت تبغى الفيول اللي يحترق احتراق تام. واضح شباب؟ So how can I know that? From the product. Sometimes you will see in the product and this is the common problem that you will see. دائما يعطيك شنو؟ Part of it combusted completely and part of it incomplete combustion. So you will see in the process itself you have the CO and the CO2.
That means I have two reaction. One
You
desire.
have two reactions. You cannot put them in one reaction to solve. هم actually one reaction. هو one reaction. But for the sake of solving the problem, you will have two. Sometimes also you have more than one fuel. As I promised you, this is the question that I bring for you to solve. You have more than a fuel. So the fuel is consist of CH4, C3, H8, and another fuel. Those reactions will happen at the same time in the same place. But for me, in order to solve, I have to write them
Different reactions.
individual. Each fuel, I write it alone. And if I have CO and CO2, I write for each one a single reaction. We will see that.
Can we get the balanced equation?
كيف يعني؟ You have to solve using balanced equation. Doesn't. In order to solve, you have to balance your equation. But as I said, you will not see, for example, something like this, and I put here CO. No, I will write another one exactly the same, but instead of CO2, I will write CO. You will see it in the exam.
The spot, CO2 and CO, is it,
As I said, you will put two equations.
you separate that?
You separate the equation. In order to solve, you have to separate the two
It
equations.
will be balanced.
Both of them should be balanced.
So I mean in the same reaction,
In the same reaction, yes.
the same line, the
You don't put them in the same line. In order to solve, you have to write two different equations. يعني هنا, suppose that this, half of it goes to CO2 and half of it goes to CO. I don't put it here, CO plus CO2 plus H2O. No, I write one for the CO2 and I write another one for the CO. Now, since all of them, when you have hydrocarbon containing hydrogen, you are producing water. But when you go to the analysis, usually it is on the dry base. شو معناته on dry base؟ دائما احنا we treat the stack gas as a dry base. How can we find the composition? شنو composition? What does it mean? If I say calculate the composition, I'm after what?
Fraction.
Fraction اللي هو mole fraction in the output, right?
Yes.
So how can I calculate the mole fraction? I get the total, and I divide each one by the total, right?
Right.
Now, if I consider the water and I calculate the total with the water and I divide by the total, this is, they call it wet base. Wet base. Why it is wet base? Because I am considering the water. But as I said, commonly in this problem, we need a dry base. What to do? Take the total without the water. That's all. Take the total without the water and divide by that total. Sometimes you will have a problem. We will see one example now. I give you the fraction on a wet base and I ask you calculate the dry base, or vice versa. And I will do one here and the second one is in the book. So, wet and dry base. This is very important, Shabab, to differentiate between the wet base and dry bases. So, wet and dry bases. Y I prime equal Y I divided by 1 minus Y H2O. Where Y is the
Dry base.
composition on a dry basis, while Yi is the composition on wet basis, which is what? The actual
B. Fraction.
هذا الاكتوال. الاكتوال هو الويت. الاكتوال هو الويت. اوكي؟ any question؟
دكتور
يس.
ليه حط زائد بالنوت
وين؟
في النوت؟
لا غلطان. منطق هذا زي ما قلت لك انا I need the total without the water. without
زين اذا
the
كان
water. بقول لك شيء in order to know which one is correct. Which one is higher?
الوت المفروض.
Which one is higher? So if you have the fraction of component A is 10% on a wet base. On a dry base will be more than 10 or less than 10. ليش؟ Because the amount that was meant to be for the water وزعنا على الباقي. Right? So if this is on the wet base, this is 10 and I need it to be more, right? If I want it to be more, I divide with what? This minus the water. أنا الوتر أبغى أوزع. الوتر أبغى أشيله بعتبر ما عندي ووتر أنا. بنشوف المثال الآن.
always the dry bases are
Yeah, because as I said, now suppose that you have CH4, C3H8, O2, N2, and water. Okay? 10%, 10%, 20%, 40%, 20%. Okay?
This is
كم
an
التوتال هنا؟
100 and wet
100 مظبوط؟
and wet شو اسمه.
This is wet. Now I will take this. The water. I will take the water. What is the total now?
80.
This is 80. يعني هذا 10 على 80 صح؟ So 10 over 80.
10.
Instead of 10 over 100, 10%, it's 10 over 80. يعني now ال 20 حقت الوتر ابغى اوزع شلتها بس لما اوزع ابى بحسب البرسنتج بوزع على الباقي فلازم كل واحد يزيد. A stack gas, example, a stack gas contains 60 mole percent nitrogen, 15 mole percent CO2, 10 mole percent O2, and the balance is H2O. Calculate the molar composition of this gas on a dry basis. On a dry basis. So, Y and 2 on a dry basis will equal 60 divided by what? والله خلينا نحطها بالفراكشن مرة واحدة.
0.6
0.6 divided by 1 minus كم الوتر؟ 60 70 85 0.15 مظبوط؟ divided by 0.1 minus 0.15. This will equal 0.705 Y. CO2 will equal 0.15 divided by 1 minus 0.15 equal 0.1765 and Y O2 will equal 0.176. You add them, you will get 100%. As easy as this. And sometimes you will ask vice versa. You have the fraction on a dry base find on outlays. واضح يا شباب؟ هذه الحاجة الثانية المهمة. Another thing, I'm just giving you the concept that we will need in order to be able to solve any problem in the combustion.
دكتور
Yes.
اذا كان بالعكس انا اطلع الواي اتش 2 صح؟
أنت الآن تبغى لازم يقول لك كم water فيه. He will give you the bases on a dry base and he will tell you that you have this amount of water. So you have to consider it.